So we're up to issue 7 of the Penguin, and this is the variant cover, and then we have the normal cover in there. So the first 5 issues kind of dealt with the Penguin putting a new gang together, and now we've gone back in time, and it's the second issue where we're dealing with the origin of the Penguin, and so part of this. So at the end of the last issue, he'd been given the Iceberg Lounge, which was owned by the Falcones, but the Batman has been uh, using Oswald Cobblepot for information in order to take down the Falcone gang. Falcones are an organized crime syndicate from early on in the Batman's career, and so the Iceberg Lounge was a place where criminals would meet, and now the Penguin owns it. Still not called the Penguin, still Oswald Cobblepot, and he's being shown in here several times to be extraordinarily ruthless. So the Penguin comes off as kind of a silly, um, kind of pathetic character, but then you see in here how brutal he is. So he's talking with one of his thugs, and just for whatever reason just takes a knife and stabs him through the neck. Just I guess he's just angry, and we also get a little bit with Commissioner Gordon, who at that point is apparently not Commissioner Gordon because he's talking to the commissioner, and they're talking about what's going on with Cobblepot and the Batman. So they have some information. And the knife is found, and so Batman's trying to figure out who killed this thug. And Oswald says it wasn't me. And so Batman's kind of like, I know what's going on. I know you're. It's obvious that the Batman knows he's being used by the Penguin, and the Penguin knows he's being used by Batman, but they're continuing on with this charade, and it's fun. Not fun, but it's cool. It's good. It's well written, and that's kind of the strength of Tom King, which is his characterization. And I think they have switched artists, and they might have switched it in one of the previous issues, but Oswald is definitely looking quite grotesque in these, and it is a little confusing as to what's going on. I'm not sure who this fellow is. I know the woman is with Oswald, so maybe it's his wife, or maybe she's going to be his wife. But I read through this comic twice, and I'm still a little confused. But he must be a villain because the Batman comes up behind him and just cracks him. And she has planted a cloth on him, a kerchief, in order to frame him for the murder from earlier. And there's the Penguin, looking very Penguin-like, although he's still not quite completely in his role. And I'm a little confused here as to whether we're forward in time or backward in time, but I believe that's the Help, and the Help kind of threatens him. I think maybe later on, saying if you try to kill me, it won't work out well for you. And here's another example where I think he's maybe the bartender or one of the people at the Iceberg Lounge who works there, and saying he's not really worried about the Batman. And again, the Penguin slams his face down and murders him because he should be afraid of the Batman. And so now there's a second murder, and it's kind of like the Batman, I think, kind of maybe doesn't. I mean, he's certainly against murder, but Cobblepot is killing killers, so he doesn't want to end this relationship they have. But the Penguin is saying, or Oswald Cobblepot is saying, I'm going to be a target unless I look like a criminal also, so you need to take me down. And the Batman suggests, well, if I just arrest you, you're going to go to prison. But if you put on some kind of guise, some kind of motif like other supervillains, then you'll just go to Arkham Asylum and get out in a few months. And so that's why he becomes the Penguin. He's in a little bit more dialogue, but we finally get him. Now he's got the monocle, he's got the cigar with the holder, and he has become the Penguin at the advisement of Batman. So Batman is kind of telling him to do this, and then we have a fight there, and he says, whack, whack, whack. So he's fully the Penguin. He called himself the Penguin. And Batman arrests him. He gets put in a straitjacket in Arkham Asylum, and then presumably gets back out so that they can continue to... So I don't know if this is like now the new origin that Batman actually created the Penguin, specifically to own the Iceberg Lounge, to get information, continue to get information on organized crime, or what we're supposed to make of this. So we're 7 issues in, and we'll see. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't know. I feel like this should have been maybe a 12-issue series with an end to it. I see nothing to imply that this is a limited series. So it's interesting. I'm entertained. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I think it's pretty good. And the art it's again interesting. A lot of the people in this look very grotesque, but that's kind of how he draws it. Well, anyway, that's The Penguin #7 by Tom King.